Okay, so are you guys able to hear me? Cool. So, good evening, all. My name is Saish Jaswal, and I'm a PhD student at the Indian Institute of Technology in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And I'll be your TA for these live sessions that we are going to have over the next few weeks. So, the purpose of these sessions is to clarify all your queries relating to the course Joy of Computing using Python that you are enrolled in. Just in case, like if you are not familiar with the portal, please feel free to ask like any queries you have because it's important that you sign up for the course and solve all the assignments. So you'll be getting the weekly assignments over there, and that's what we are trying to see in this live sessions. So whatever query you have, please feel free to ask. And these sessions are made for those specifically finding it difficult to cope with the course. So it doesn't matter, even if the query is very basic, just ask it. Okay. So any queries so far? Yeah. Before we begin, just a request, please keep your mics muted and videos turned off because all these sessions are going to be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So even if you miss these sessions, you can access them later. All the materials that I'll be using, including the slides and the Python notebooks, you can access them later at your own convenience. So you need not bother about, missing any of these sessions. So the sessions will happen generally on Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. And yeah, I'll come to that. So the sessions will happen on Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. unless there are certain unavoidable circumstances. In that, you will be notified if the session is like preponed or postponed to some other date. So keep checking the emails that you will get from NPTEL team. So regarding your queries, somebody asked, how can I find the previous class? Yeah, so this is the first session, very first session of this live session of this course. So you will find all the material available at the link on the portal. So let me just give you an overview of the portal so that you all are aware of where to find the stuff. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, so let me just turn my video off. Okay, so this is the Swayam portal that you all are using. I hope all of you have registered for this course. So you will find all the lecture videos over here in this section, and whatever queries you may have, you can always put them on the online discussion forum. So you can find it over here in the Q&A section. This will redirect you to a Google discussion forum and you can post your queries, but a recommended option is to first check if the query is already asked by someone over there. And if it is not, please feel free to put it over there and one of the team members will reply to you. And you can always help each other. Even if somebody is not replying from the team, other person can definitely help the person who has any queries. And regarding assignments, you people might have already gone through week one videos and you would have seen this assignment. So you'll be having a due date over here before which you'll have to complete all the questions here, problems that are there. And we'll try to solve similar problems based on the topics that are covered in this week. And I'll go from basic. So please don't bother about even if you don't know Python or any programming at all. I'll make sure that everybody is on the same page before we go into the advanced concepts into the Python programming. Can you please describe the exam registration process? So I think Abhinav, regarding exam registration, you will get a notification from the NPTEL team later towards the end of this course, like after week 12. They will open the registration portal wherein you can sign up for the offline examination. I hope that clarifies your query. Uh, Parvinder, sample papers won't be there, but we will solve similar kind of problems that you might get in your final exam. So these sessions are meant for that, to help you prepare for, uh, you know, solving such problems. Some of them are not able to attend the meeting. Oh, I see. I think there is a limit on Google Meet. It's presently allowing only 101 members. Uh, I think I'm not able to admit anyone else. I can't see anyone joining now. So please, tell them that they don't need to bother about it. They can definitely look into the recordings later. I'll try to figure it out, like if I can share some other platform link like Zoom or something else. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, yeah, Rishita, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not sure if Google Meet with my current subscription allows more than 100 participants. Is there any issue if the assignment submission gets delayed? Mm, yeah, I think you will be evaluated based on the due date of the assignment. So if you submit it late than this due date, I don't think so. It will be evaluated later. But please do confirm with the NPTEL team, like how they are going to evaluate your assignments and if there is any penalty on the late submissions. Okay. So I hope that clarifies most of your queries. So let me go back to the slides. I hope you all are able to see my screen. Yeah. So in this session, we'll be looking into Scratch and we'll be going from scratch literally. So feel free to ask any queries you may have. Okay, so let's get started. So many of you would have tried some hands-on on this Scratch programming. So some of you might be wondering like what's the use of Scratch? Like the course is on Python. The basic purpose of Scratch is to get you acquainted with the logic building. That's it. So this is like very easy kind of a platform wherein you can, you know, write program using certain logic, which will help you build your logic developing property, or you know, that will help you out with the coding later in Python. So let me start with a very basic warm-up exercise. So here is a problem. PARLE is related to QCUPJ in the same way as DABUR is related to. So think over it and please don't answer in the chat right away. Think over it and see what is the logic for converting this PARLE to QCUPJ that you will be that you'll be using to convert DABUR to one of these options. Okay, I am not able to add any poll over here. So those of you who have got the answer, you can type it in the chat. Okay, yeah, most of you are saying D, so which is the correct answer. So can someone explain how you got that answer? Before that, let me ask, is there anyone who could not figure this out? Okay. Uh, yeah. So let me just try to explain it. I'll share my iPad screen. Okay. Are you guys able to see the screen? Yeah, fine. So the question was EARLE is related to QCUPJ. So what will be DABUR related to? So in such problems, the first thing is to see the pattern or the underlying logic. So if you see P is followed by Q. For A, you have C over here. So do you see a pattern over here? Yeah. So here you are moving one step ahead from P. Here you are moving two steps ahead. Here you are moving three steps ahead, and so on. Okay. So you have to apply same logic to the other string. We'll see what this string are. I'm using these terminologies, but that will get clarified over the time. So if you go to D, the next character is E, C, E, and so on. So the correct option over here is ECEYW. And some of you might be wondering why are we doing this? So it's just the foundation of building logic. And we'll now go on to Scratch. Is there anyone who has not tried Scratch yet? Okay, okay. So no worries. We'll go from the Scratch, literally. So to access Scratch, you can go on to this web page, scratch.mit.edu, and you can access it online. You don't need to install it on your system. You can access it on their website itself. Once you visit this website, scratch.mit.edu, you can click on this Start Creating, and you will come across. Request everyone to please be on mute. Yeah, you will come on to this platform wherein you will see an object over here which is called sprite, and then there will be certain commands or statements which we'll be using to perform certain operations on this object. Okay, so I hope till this point everything is clear. You can also parallelly try to open Scratch window in on your system or device, whatever you are using, and do hands-on over there. Okay, so yeah, so in any programming language, be it Python, C, C++, or anything, you will have a certain underlying grammar, like you have for the natural languages like Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, etc. So, uh, in every language, you have certain constructs or words or statements. So you can form a sentence using words, but you cannot use any random construct anywhere else. Okay? So similar is the case with the programming languages. You can give certain instructions to the computer, but you cannot use uh, random statements in random uh, places or random keywords anywhere. So we'll come to that when we go into the Python programming language. Here, what we are trying to see is if we can perform certain operations on this object using the commands or statements that are available in this platform. So for example, if I want to move this particular object by 10 steps, let me just try this. So you just have to drag this up over here and then click on this. So you can see the object has moved 10 steps ahead. Let me just try. It was not so clear. Let me just try moving it 100 steps. Okay. So as you can see, it has moved 100 steps ahead of from here. And if you want to perform certain other operations, like turn it by certain degrees or rotate it by certain degrees. For example, let me turn it by 15 degrees or turn it anti-clockwise by 15 degrees. Okay. So these are some basic operations that you can perform on this object called sprite. So far, all clear? I'll be going from very basic. So yeah, though for those of you who are already knowing all this stuff, please feel free to leave. The recording of this session will be available for later viewing, so you will not miss anything from this session. Okay. So, and at any point, please feel free to ask any queries you may have. Okay. So turning it 15 degrees clockwise is equivalent to turning 15 degrees anti-clockwise and turning negative 15 degrees clockwise. So if I do this operation, turn it by 15 degrees anti-clockwise, this is equivalent to turning it clockwise by negative 15 degrees. And you can see the direction in which this particular sprite object is facing. So right now it's facing towards this 150 degree. So if it is straight over here, this is the 90-degree angle. So why I'm discussing this? Because you might expect certain questions based on this uh, uh, sprite. Okay. Now this sprite is there in a XY coordinate system. So it has its X coordinate and Y coordinate. So one way to move this sprite object is to use this move command, which will move it. Another way is to set its X and Y coordinates. So there is this command called go to X, and you'll have to put the X coordinate and the Y coordinate over here. So let me just try putting it as 10. So now it has moved to X coordinate 100 and Y coordinate 10. And you can see it over here as well. Let me zoom it in a bit. Okay. So far we have seen there are two ways to move the sprite object. One is using the move command and another is using the go to X and Y coordinates. Then there is another option which you can use to move the object, and that is glide. So glide 1 second to random position. It will use 1 second time to move to any random position in this window. So let me just run this. Okay. So if I give let's say 5 seconds over here, so it will take some 5 seconds to move to some random position in this space that it has. But if you want to glide it to certain position, XY position, in a given period of time, you can even set this. So this is equivalent to go to X, but with a certain time duration. So let me just try moving it to 100 and 10. And let me say it glides to that position in 5 seconds and click on this. So it takes 5 seconds to go back to 100 and x equal to 100 and y equal to 10 coordinate. But if I click on this, let's say go to x, so it as soon as I click on that, it moves over there. So these are some subtle differences that you will see in this motion commands that are available to you. Similarly, you can change the x coordinate by certain uh, number. For example, right now x is set to 100. If I want to change it by 10, so you can see over here, I hope you are able to see this. The x coordinate has got changed to 110. Similarly, you can change y by certain quantity, and if you want to move it in the opposite direction or in the negative direction, you can set this x or change the x by some negative quantity. So it will add this negative number to the existing quantity over here. So change x by -10 is equivalent to moving 10 steps in the opposite direction. Is it clear so far? Yes, no? Any response?
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah. There are some queries in the chat. Where will we get the recorded session? So, Abhinav, after this session gets over, I'll upload it to my YouTube channel. So let me share a link to that. So you'll find all the session recordings over here on this YouTube channel. But the NPTEL team will also share a Google Sheet with you, which will have links to all the sessions uh, that we are going to have throughout this 12 week. Okay. And apart from that, yeah, thank you, Leela, for sharing the link. Yes, so you can simply visit scratch.mit.edu and you'll be able to create a new file over here in Scratch. Okay, so for those of you who are feeling this is very basic, please bear with me. We'll go on to the advanced concepts later, but I just want to bring everyone on the same page. I don't want to leave anyone. So please, apologies for if you are feeling it very basic right now. Okay. So yeah, so you can explore all this and do some hands-on. And over here, you can see these three options: X position, Y position, and the direction. So right now, the X is set to X position is at 90, Y is at 10, and the direction in which this particular sprite is facing is 89.94 degrees. Okay, so if I turn it, so you'll see that this direction object over here also changes its values. So this is like a live object that captures the current position x and y and the direction of the sprite. So you can analyze or monitor where how the particular sprite or object is moving when you perform certain operations on it. Okay, so these were the basic move commands, motion commands. So what we have seen so far, you can move an object in the sprite space, or sorry, in the given space using move, go to, glide, and change x and y direction, uh, position. Okay, so you might expect similar questions in your uh, exam, like what are the commands that are used for changing the position of the sprite in Scratch. So you'll have to remember these basic commands over here. There are not many, but You might expect some question on that. Okay. After this motion commands, we have certain looks commands. So let me bring this back over here. I'll set x to 0, y to 0. So there is this command called point in direction 90. So you can change the direction over here directly. So if I give it as point in direction 0 and click on this, you can see that it is facing upwards. Facing forward is the 90-degree option. Okay. Yeah. So there are this commands in the looks port window. So let us try this out. Say hello for 2 seconds. So this will make this object say something that you enter over here for the given duration of time. Let me say I want to say, where are you? And for 5 seconds. So it will wait for 5 seconds and say this particular prompt that I have given it. Okay. And then if you just want to say it, like want the object to say something, but without any time duration. So you can just simply use the say uh, option over here. But if you want to stop this particular object saying something, you can use the stop option over here. Okay. So these are two things here. One is say and one is think. The only difference is that you'll see in the cloud over here. So that's the only difference. Why this is there, it all depends on the kind of task you are given. So if you want to make it say something or think something, if the question asks you to do that, you'll have to select proper options or command over here in this window. Okay, so these are some extra options which you might explore later. So here is an option which will help you to switch its costume. So let me just try out costume 2. So you can see that the sprite object got changed. So it's not necessary that you have to work with this particular sprite object. There are multiple sprite objects available over here. So if you go here, choose a sprite, you will see a lot of options here which you can use to move or perform operations on. So let me just try this bear. So I can add this, and whatever sprite object you select over here and whatever options you select while selecting this object, this particular operations will be performed on that particular object. So let's say, let me try this, move 10 steps. So it is performed only on this bear and not on the other sprite. So if I want to move this particular sprite, I'll have to select that sprite and then select one of these options over here. Okay, is that clear? Yeah. Is there any query? Okay. So let me just delete this object. Yeah. So you can explore all these other options. These are all some cosmetic options like changing costume and changing the background. So you can add the backdrops over here. Like you can choose a backdrop from your system. You can upload it over here, or you can paint it or do whatever you want to, and then experiment with all these options over here. So this won't be of much use in our current session. So I'll move on to the next options. Yeah. So there is this show and hide option. So hide will hide this particular object and show will make it appear. So you would have seen this, the usage of this show and hide in one of the lecture videos wherein the TA was trying to um, make an animation wherein a eagle tries to capture a snake and then the snake changes its emotion. So in that, this particular options were being used. Okay, so I'm just quickly going over it. The main thing that we will have to see is the events and control and the operators, which will be useful for you to solve the current week's assignment. Okay, so there are these other options like sound. So if you want to make this sprite say something, for example, there is this meow sound over here. So yeah, that's it. And you can even see various options over here to make the sound faster or slower or louder. Yeah, that's funny, but yeah, you can explore it at your own convenience. And you can even upload your own sound that you want this object to make. Okay, I hope this is clear so far.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, great. So let us come to the control statement. We'll go to the events later. Okay, before we move on over here, I want to show you, demonstrate certain operations that I want to perform on this object. So let me just clear all this. Yeah. So does anyone of you know what the file extension of this sprite file or scratch file will be? Like you save your images. So images are having format like JPEG or PNG, and PDF files have format like extension .pdf. So what extension does this scratch file have? Okay, we'll come across that in, I think there is a question on that. So if you have not tried it, so I'll recommend you can just go over here and then try saving your scratch file to computer and see what extension you see over there. So there is a question on that. We'll see, we'll look into that. So we have talked about the motion operation, like moving this particular object by certain steps. Let me move it by 10 steps and then turn 15 degrees. So, but if I want to do all these operations together, so what I can do is I can simply connect these two operations like a like two Lego pieces. So if I click on this now, it will move 10 steps ahead and also turn 15 degrees clockwise. So let me just try this out. Okay. So this was not very clear. Let me make it 100 steps. So do you see? It has moved 100 steps from its current position and also turned 15 degrees clockwise. But this particular operation was not very clear, like of moving and then turning. So if you want to have certain pause in between, you can use this control called wait. So it will move 100 steps. Let me bring it back to 00. You can set it directly from here as well, or you can use one of the commands over here. So let me just use the commands. So I want this object to point in direction 90, and X and Y are already set to 0. But if you want them to be, let's say, 100, so you can change it using the commands over here. Is there any query? Yeah, Mooks. Yeah, that's the correct answer. The extension of Scratch file is SB3. Uh, you might get a question on that. So the previous versions of the Scratch were having this extension only .sb, but this is the third version of Scratch, I guess. That's why they have added this SB3 to it. But if you get an option of .sb, that is also a valid option. Okay. So yeah, coming back to this, if I want to move it and then pause for some time and then turn it 15 degrees clockwise, so I can use this wait command over here. So let us try running this. So let me just bring it over here and see. So do you see? It has moved, waited for 1 second, and then turned. Let me show it to you again. Let me make it move by 200 steps and move it, uh, rotate it, let's say by 90 degrees and wait for some 3 seconds. So it will move 200 steps ahead, wait for 3 seconds, and then rotate 90 degrees. So is this clear how we are clubbing multiple commands together? Okay,
Yes, sir.
great.
Got it.
Yeah. So anyone of you who is facing difficulty seeing all these commands, please let me know. The font size might be small for a few, so please feel free to ask to increase it. I am a bit more comfortable with this font size, so please let me know. Okay. So now, what if I want to repeat this particular operations multiple times? Uh, let's say move by 20 steps, wait for 2 seconds, and turn, let's say 30 degrees. Let me set this position to 0, 0. By the way, parallelly, you can also try it on your system or device, whatever you are using right now. So the task is to move 20 steps forward, wait for 2 seconds, and turn 30 degrees. So it has moved 20 steps forward and moved 30 degrees. I'll click it again. So it has moved 20 steps forward and moved 30 degrees in clockwise direction. Okay. Another way to do this, so instead of double clicking it, I can duplicate this entire block and add it over here. So let me bring it back to its original position. So what it will do, move 20 steps ahead, wait for 2 seconds, turn 30 degrees clockwise, then move 20 steps ahead from its position wherever it has stopped, then wait for 2 seconds, and then turn 30 degrees clockwise. So let me run this. Move, rotate. Okay. I think it was not very clear in this. Let me move it by 100 steps. Move, rotate, move, rotate. Let me add this weight over here as well. Bring it back to its original position. Let us move it by 50. Move, rotate, then move, and then rotate. Okay. So let's say you want to perform this operations, all these operations 10 times. Let me copy this, duplicate this block. So this operation is being performed 4 times. So it is moving, rotating, moving, rotating, moving, rotating, and so on. What if I want to do this 1000 times? So it is not very feasible to, keep copying or duplicating these blocks and then adding them one below the other. That will make it very clumsy, and it will be difficult to read as well. Like how many blocks are there? You can't manually go on counting what all blocks are, how many, what's the count of the blocks over here. So to take care of that, there is something called as a loop construct, or it is called repeat loop over here. So what you can do is you can put this move, wait, and turn block in this repeat, and then you can ask this repeat loop to repeat this set of operations any number of times. Let's say I want to do this 4 number of times. Let me set it back to its original position and then click on this. So it will move, wait, turn, move, wait, turn, move, turn, and move, turn. Okay, so you were not able to see this turning over here because there was no wait over here. Let me just add this wait. So it was moving, turning, then moving, turning, moving third time, turning, moving fourth time, and turning. So you see how concise this particular construct over here makes it makes this particular code. So if I were to write this everything as a stack of all these commands, it would have been very difficult to read uh, what exactly is happening. But this makes it very simple to perform certain operations multiple times. Okay, so this is repeat loop for certain number of times. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
someone is asking to increase the font size. Okay, I hope this is okay enough.
Yes, sir, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So this was about repeat, and then there is another loop over here called forever. So forever, so let me just set it back to its original position. So forever will keep on um, repeating certain task until you give certain condition which will make help it go out of it. So if I want to let's say hello for 2 seconds, and then I want to wait for 1 second. So let me just try this out. Or let's say hello for 1 second and wait for 1 second. So it will say hello. So you see, it is doing this again and again till the time I don't stop it. If I were to do this similar thing using this repeat, so let me add this particular block to repeat, and let's say ask it to repeat it 3 times. Hello, and then wait, hello, wait, hello, wait, and done. Okay. So this is the difference between forever loop and the repeat loop. So repeat loop has a certain number of iterations. So the iterations is is a technical term that we use for the loop constructs. It is the number of times a particular set of operations are being performed. Uh, I don't know what is this Moksh. Okay, I hope that is used for some. Okay, okay, fine. So yeah, so what we are doing, seeing over here is two types of loops. One is repeat with certain fixed number of iterations, and one is forever. Okay, so for in the case of forever, it will run forever, and you will have to stop it manually. Now there is another loop called repeat until. So Here you are giving certain number of iterations in this loop, and you will be repeating the set of operations for those many number of times. But if you want to have certain condition over here and repeat uh, the set of operations until the condition is true, you can use this repeat until. Maybe we'll come to this at later point whenever there is an example. But these are the three kinds of loop constructs that are available in this Scratch uh, platform. Okay, so let me clear everything. Yeah. So what we have seen so far, we have seen motion, have to move this particular sprite object. We have seen certain operations that will make this object say something. Then there were the sound operations, which you can use to add sound effects to these particular object. Then events will come to it later. And then uh, in the control, we have seen so far wait, repeat, forever loop, and the repeat until loop. We'll use this later when we go on to the variables. Okay. So then now there are two statement commands or constructs, if then and if then else. So if certain thing is true, then do certain operation. This is what the meaning of this particular construct is. And for this, if certain thing is true, then do this, else do the other operation. We'll see it again after we go into the variable section. So let me duplicate this. Sorry. So can someone say what's the difference between this construct that I have created over here and this particular construct? Nyaneshwari, what is your query? Please feel free to ask where the confusion was. I'll explain it again. Meanwhile, for everyone, what do you think is the difference between this construct, if, and if else?
Sir, if is a nested if, sir, that's a nested loop, and if else is a different kind of loop which compared to if and if.
Uh, yeah, thank you for your answer. I'd like to make two corrections. First thing is this is not a loop, so this is a conditional statement. So repeat, forever, and repeat until, these are the loop constructs, and these are the conditional statements. And second thing is this, in this case, you are checking certain condition and doing some operations that you'll be adding over here. Irrespective of this particular if construct over here, if then construct, you are you will also be checking the condition over here. So if certain condition is true, then do this, and then you move on to the second if construct. If certain condition is true, then do the other operation. We'll see this example when we see variables. However, in this case, this will execute only one of these things over here. For example, if a number is greater than 10, then do something, else do something else. So either it will do the first operation or the second operation. It won't do both the operations, whereas in this case, it will check the conditions twice, and then whether depending on the condition, it will execute that particular operation. So here the conditions are being checked for both of these operations. Here in this case, condition is checked only once, and depending on that, it will execute either this or that. Okay, I hope this is clear. It will get clearer in when we look into the variables. So let me delete these blocks. Okay, sensing, well, I'll skip for now. Let me go on to variables and then I'll touch upon operators. Okay, so how many of you know what a variable is? Those of you who have a basic idea. Yes, so Moksh, that is true. Like if in the if statement, like if the condition is false, then it will automatically go to the else part. Yeah. So as many of you have said, a variable is nothing but a container in which you can store certain values. We'll see this again in when we come on to Python programming. So in any programming language, a variable is a container that can store a value of certain data type. So let me go on to my iPad. By the way, I forgot to ask, somebody had a query earlier. Yeah, Jnaneshwari, like please feel free to ask whatever query you may have. Okay, I hope you guys are able to see my iPad screen. Okay, so let's say this is your system's memory, and there are certain locations in it. Okay, so this is your storage on your system, and there are certain locations. Let's say each location has has an address. And when you declare a variable or any variable in a programming language or in Scratch, this, let's say the variable name is X. So this X will be assigned certain position or memory in your storage. And then you can use this memory or the storage space to store any value. Let's say I want to store 2. So if I do X equal to 2 or set X to 2, it all depends on the kind of language you are using. So these are operations will make this particular location get the value of 2. So you are using this X as a name for this location, and then this X is a variable. Why variable? Because its value can vary. Instead of 2, you can also have, let's say, size. So this is my name, which I want to store in X. So instead of 2, this particular location will have this uh, name size. Uh, and then this, okay, I won't confuse you now. So there are different types of data. For example, X can be integer like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be a float like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and so on. We'll come to this later when we see Python. Um, yeah, I'll come back to your query in Anishwari. Please hold on to that. And it can be a character or char like A, B, C, and so on, or a string, which is a set of characters like A, B, C, or size, or NPTEL. Okay, there are other data types as well. We'll see them in detail when we go back to Python. So this was about variable and different data types. So a variable can be, so variable is a container that can store a value of any type. Uh, in certain programming languages, okay, I won't discuss it now. We'll see it when we discuss Python. So there are different types of programming languages in which you will get certain you'll have to declare variable in certain way. We'll see it later. Okay. So far, is it all clear what variables are? So double and float. Yeah, I think RK. So that is the difference is mostly the precision level that you can have in float and double. So in double, I think the precision after this decimal point. So in float, you will have precision till certain point, and in double, you might get even more memory. So your variable might occupy more space to store the value. So you'll get better precision after this decimal point. Okay. So in certain programming languages, there are these constructs called float, or double or long double, and so on. We'll see, look into the details later, what they are. But for now, you can just assume that the difference is only this precision level that you can have. Okay. I hope this is clear so far, what a variable is. Yeah. So difference between char and string is, so when in Python, both these things are the same. Every character is a string, but in certain programming languages, a char is a single character that you can have. A string is a set of characters. Is that clear? Supradeep? Okay. So let me stop it over here. Okay, I hope my laptop screen is visible. Okay. So coming back to query from Jnaneshwari. So, sir, block to change in questions are confused. So, Jnaneshwari, can you please elaborate what exactly your query is? You can even unmute yourself and ask. Okay, fine. Great. Okay. So here you can see there is a variable called my variable. If I just click on this, it will show this my variable over here. I can set this my variable to, let's say, 10. So if I set it to 10, it will change the value of my variable to 10. If I set it to hello, it will set the value of my variable to hello. So this is, I have set this my variable earlier. I had set it to a numerical value, which makes the data type of this my variable integer. And in this case, I'm setting it to some uh, string, which makes the data type of this my variable string. Okay. There is no data type option over here as such in Scratch, but you will see this in Python. We'll come to that later. So let me go back to the integer value, set my variable to 2. Now, if I want to change the value of my variable, let's say by 1. So if I want to add 1 to my variable, so I'll do change my variable by 1. So you will see here the my variable got changed to 3. So it is adding this one to the current value of my variable. If I click on it again, it will make it 4. If I click on it again, it will make it 5, and so on. Let's say I want to change it by 10. So current value is 5. If I change my variable value by 10, it will make it 15. Again, if I change it, it will make it 25, and so on. Okay, so this was setting the variable to certain value and changing the variable by certain value. So let's say if I want to subtract certain value from this. So so what will I have to write over here? Yeah, and someone say, let's say I want to subtract my variable by 5, the current value of my variable by 5, or subtract 5 from the current value of my variable. Yeah, so that is correct. So you'll have to write here -5. So what it will do is it will take the current value of my variable and add -5 to it. So it always does the operation of adding something. So the value can be positive or negative. So if, let me just try this out. So if I change this, you can see that the value of my variable is getting decreased by 5. So it is adding -5 to the current value of my variable. Let me try it again, and so on. So this was all about set and change. Let us go on to show variable. And so yeah, we don't have other variables over here right now, but let me just try this. So you can see that the variable got hidden, and if I click on this show variable, it will be visible in this um, space over here. Okay, this was using the already available variable over here. Now, what if I want to create my own variable and give it my own name? Okay, is there any query, Kumud? Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask. Okay. So yeah, where I was, yeah. So if I want to make my own variable, so there is this option called make a variable, and let me give it a name. Let's say cost, and you can also select this operation, like if it is for this particular sprite or for all the sprites. So I am just declaring this variable cost for all the sprites over here. Like there is only one sprite here, but if you were to have multiple sprites in this space, so it will be applicable for all the sprites. Okay, so now in this set operation, when you click on this, you will see this other option, cost. So you can set your variable, your own variable, to certain value. So let me set cost to 2. So you can see cost is set to 2. You can change cost by certain value. So it has added -5 to the value. You can show the variable cost or hide the variable cost from here, and so on. Okay, so this was all about the variables. And let us now go to the operators. So as its name suggests, operators are do certain operations on two values. So for example, let me do 2 plus 3 and click on this. So it will give me a value of 5. Okay. Similarly, my 2 minus 3, 2 into 3, and 2 divided by 3. So you will get a value over here. But what if I want to set my variable to 2 plus 3? So what I will do is I'll simply change cost by or set cost to 2 plus 3. So now let me just click this. First of all, let me show the variable cost. So cost is over here. It is having the value of -3 for now. And if I click on this set cost to 2 plus 3, it will set the value of cost to this particular value, which is given by this operation 2 plus 3. Is this clear, everyone? Okay, great. Okay. So similarly, if I want to change cost by let's say 5 into 10, so I'll just have this multiplication operation here, 5 into 10. The current value of cost is 5, and it will change its value by 5 into 10, 50. So the new value will be 55. And you can even have very complex operations. Let's say I have this 2 divided by 3, but I can also have 5 plus uh, let's say 4 divided by 3. So I have just dragged this particular operation in that cell over here. So let's say 5 into 10. So 5 into 10 plus 4, this entire thing divided by 3. So let me just click on this. So what it will be? It will be 50 plus 4, 54 divided by 3, 18. Is this clear? Okay, great. Yeah, so this was about the basic operators that we have over here. And then there is pick random option. Let me clear all this. So pick random 1 to 10. So it is like taking any random number between 1 and 10. So if I click it um, multiple times, every time I click, it will give me some random number between 1 and 10. So what if I want this particular object to say this random number? So what will I do? I'll go here. Let me use this say. Instead of hello, I want to use this pick random and put it over here. So I want to say pick random from 1 to 10 for 2 seconds. And let me click on this. Okay. So it has taken one number between any random number between 1 and 10, and it has said that for 2 seconds. It can be anything. Pick random from let's say 20 to 100. Let me click on this. So yeah. So it has said this 80. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, now there are certain conditional operations. So if you want to check if a certain operation is true or false. So for example, if I give 2 here, 2 greater than 50, so is this operation true or false? So it's false. So you will get answer as false. So there is one more data type that I did not discuss earlier. It's called Boolean data type or bool, which stores the value true or false. In certain scenario, the value of true is also equivalent to 1 and false is equivalent to 0. Or true can be any positive value and false will be 0. Okay. So if I give the same thing over here, 2 less than 50. So this will give me true. Okay. And then there are this Boolean operations and, or, and not. So how many of you do not know what these Boolean operations are? And, or, not, XOR. Is there anyone who doesn't know this? I'll discuss it. Um, okay, fine. I'll discuss it. Uh, Yeah, so the Scratch, you can access it using this link, scratch.mit.edu, and you'll have to just start a new session over there. Okay, so let me share my iPad screen again. I request everyone to keep their videos turned off. Okay, I hope my iPad screen is visible. Okay, so in Boolean algebra, you'll perform certain operations. There are three operations: and, or, not. So a condition can be either true or false. So if one condition, let's say condition 1, and condition 2. So if both the conditions are true, uh, everyone please be on mute. So the AND operation will be true. Similarly, OR operation will also be true. However, if at least one of the conditions is false, true, false, or false, true.
ये तो क्यों कहते शकर रे बुरे
एक minute, please be on mute. False and false. So if at least one condition is false, then AND operation will turn out to be false. And if both the conditions are false, then definitely it is false. Whereas the OR operation will be true if at least one of the conditions is true. And it will be false when both of these are false. So AND operation is true only when both the conditions are true. It can be applicable to multiple conditions. So these are only two conditions. So if you have like condition 1, 2, and 3, instead of true false, I'll use 1 and 0. So if it is 1, 1, 1, what will be the output of AND? Anyone?
It is
Condition
1.
1 and condition 2 and condition 3. So AND operation will be 1 and OR will be 1. But if it is 1, 0, 1, like for true, false, true. So what will be AND?
And is 0.
Yeah. And OR?
One.
R
Yeah.
is 0. R is 1. Sorry.
Yeah. So what it is doing over here is it is taking, so AND is taking AND of first two conditions, which is 0, and then AND of these two conditions, which is again 0. Similarly, OR OR of this operation, these two conditions will be 1, and OR of this 1, 1 will be 1. Okay. I hope this is clear. So these are some basics of Boolean algebra. Two operations, and or not, or, and what, let us see the not operation. So not operation is simply like changing the current condition. So if a condition is true, let's say 2 greater than 5, sorry, 2 less than 5. So this is a condition. This is true. Not of this condition will be false. It's that simple. So not is simply changing the type of the condition. So if it is true, it will make it false, and if it is false, it will make it true. So this is a tricky question. What will be not of 1 and not of, sorry, 0?
It is 0.
0.
0.
Yeah. So what it is making? It is making 1 as 0 and 0 as 1, and then you are performing this operation of AND, which is 0. So this is the basic of Boolean algebra. I hope it is clear to everyone what these operations do. Okay, I'll explain this again. So uh, AND operations, let's say if you have two or more conditions, AND operation will be true only when all these conditions are true. If at least one of these conditions is false, then AND operation will also be false. And whereas OR operation will be true when at least one of the conditions will be true, is true. So let's say this is true and this is false. So this will result in OR operations to OR operation on these conditions to be true, because at least one of the conditions is true. So the OR is true. Okay, and will only be true if all are true. And if all are false, both AND as well as OR operation will give you false. I hope this is clear. Kelvin? Okay, Kelvin, is that clear? You had a query? Okay, we'll come to this again when we'll do Python. Okay, so let me go back to Scratch. Okay, so there are this AND, OR, and NOT operations. So here, 2 greater than 5 and 2 less than 5. So what will be the output of this? Any guess?
False.
False.
Yeah.
False.
So let me click on this.
False.
So you see, this is false because one of the conditions here is false. So false and true will be false. Similarly, let me put this in OR. So what will be the output?
True.
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 So this will be true. And let me put this over here. So what will be its output?
False.
True.
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 Yeah. So here, this
True.
particular condition is false. True is not greater than 50. So this is false. So not of false will be true. Okay. So why did we learn all this operations? So in certain cases, you might have to check multiple conditions. If a certain number is greater than, let's say, 40 and it is greater than 30, then you will have to print that number. This is a simple example. So this will be useful in your conditional statements that we have seen earlier. So let me come back to this now. So if a condition is true over here, okay, so you can even, let me use this variable. So if cost is greater than 50, so what is the current value of cost? 55. So what will be the answer here? Not?
False.
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 Yeah. So it will be false. So let me put this condition. If cost is greater than 50, then say pick random 2200 for 2 seconds. Let me run this. So what will it will do? It will check this condition first. It is true. Then it will go into the statement and execute that. Okay. And let me make this condition false. 60. So if I execute this, the sprite didn't do anything because this condition was false, so it did not execute any of these things. But if I want to do, let's say, use this other construct, if else, if cost is greater than 60, let me remove this and keep hello here, duplicate this and put there. So what it will do now, what this sprite will say?
Bye.
Yeah. So it will check this condition. This is not true. So this block won't be executed. Then it will go to the else part and then say bye. Okay. Now you can put all this, you can even make it complex. So if cost is, let's say, less than 50, okay, let me use this and operation. If cost is less than 50, sorry, and so what will be the output of this operation? It
True.
is checking cost is
False,
greater
no?
than 50
False.
and cost divided by 5 is 11.
False.
False.
Is that true?
False.
No. So here, as you can see, cost is greater than 50, cost is 55. So this condition is true. Cost divided by 5. 55 divided by 5 is 11. So this condition is also true. So when both the conditions are true, this is going to be true. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. So now if I put this in if condition, oops. Okay, I'm just trying to put it over here. Let me just remove this. Yeah. Okay. Somehow it's, yeah, it's difficult over here, but yeah. Oops. Okay. So what it will do now? What's the answer? Will it print hello or bye?
Hello.
Okay. So that's correct. So it will check this condition. This is a very complex condition, and it will see if it is true. If it is true, it will execute this if statement. Else, it will go on to this else block. Okay. And then there is another condition called mod. So please, everyone, please be on mute. Yeah. So cost
Yes.
modulo 5. What will it be? Does anyone know what this? Is there anyone who doesn't know what this mod operation?
His mod is 0.
0.
Because there is no remainder.
Yeah. So this mod operation will give you the remainder. So let me run this. So the mod is 0. Let me do cost mod 4. So the mod over here is 3 because if you divide this by 4, the closest value is anyone? If you divide 55, okay, let me just
0.
3.
55 divided by 4 is 13.75. So it is 13 plus 3. So if you divide 55 by 4, you will get the quotient as 13 and the remainder as 3. So this particular operation, mod or modulo, it will give you the remainder of this division, which is 3. So 55 modulo 5 will be 0 because the remainder is 0. Similarly, there is this round operation which all of you are aware of. So round 1.2 will be 1 and round 1.8 will be 2. So it will round it off to the closest value, integer. And then there is this absolute of ABS, sorry. So there are other operations as well. You can see here sine, cos, tan, cosine, everything. So you can play around with this operations here. So absolute of any negative value will be the corresponding positive value. Absolute of -2 is 2. Absolute of 2 is also 2. So these are all the operations that you have. There are many other operations. For example, join apple and banana. So this will just join these two strings, apple, banana. And if you want this sprite to say this, let me run this. Okay, so the condition was false because I don't have the number here. So it will say join apple, banana. Okay. So I would urge everyone to please explore all these operations. It is difficult now to cover everything in this session, but please do look into this. So let us now go on to some problems that similar kind of problems you might expect in your assignments and in your final exam. Okay. Was the screen being shared when I was explaining the other operations? I just realized that the screen share got stopped.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can see the screen.
No, no. Earlier, like when I was explaining the absolute and the other operations, was it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Okay.
it
We
was
could
visible.
see.
Yes, it
Okay.
was visible.
Yes, sir, it was visible.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So, yeah, here is the question. Which of the following is our control commands in Scratch? There can be one or more than one options, correct?
Repeat.
A and C.
You can put it in chat. You need not unmute yourself. Please, everyone, please
A
be
and
on
B.
mute. Yeah, so people say A, so C, A, B. Yeah, so the correct answer is A, B, and C. Let us go back to this. So if you go to the control statements, you have repeat until, and you have forever. But there is no forever until here. Okay, is it there? Fine. Now, which option in Scratch is used to wait between the commands?
Control.
Okay,
Control.
yeah, that
Event
is correct.
control.
Yes. So motion operations are used to move the object Looks operations are used to make the object say something. The sound option is used to make the object sound play some sound. Events are there, so we have not discussed it, but maybe you can look into it. I think it was discussed in one of the examples that the TAs have given in the recorded lectures, wherein they were using this eagle and they were trying to move it. So you can find out that over there. Then you have control, wherein you have wait and all these operations, if, else, forever, repeat loop, everything. Then sensing operation is also discussed in the class. I don't have any example right now, but it was also again discussed when the eagle was touching the snake. So that particular color of eagle was touching the color of snake, and then hence this condition was becoming true. So that is what the meaning of this sensing is. And there are other operations as well in this. Like you can see here, like distance to mouse pointer and so on. So please do explore it later. You can even go to the sprite tutorial and look into the details. Then we have operators which can perform operations on certain values. And we also saw variables. So which option in Scratch is used to wait between the commands? So it is control. Dash command is used to make the sprite walk by certain steps.
It's move.
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 Move is move.
Okay, you can answer in chat. You need not unmute yourself. Moksh, it is assignment one related. Actually, by rules, I'm not supposed to discuss the assignment questions directly in this uh, session, but I'm kind of like discussing certain questions which might help you solve the problems in your assignment. Okay, so the correct answer is move. The command used to make the sprite disappear from animation stage is yeah. These are all straightforward answers. Hide. Yeah, this was the question I was asking you earlier. What is the extension of a Scratch file? Yeah, so the answer is C, SB. So the recent Scratch version will give you SB3. Okay, so you might expect similar kind of questions in your exam. So predict the output of the following. Set num 200, repeat 10 times, change num by -2. So what will be the output? Think over it.
AC.
Okay. Is there anyone who did not get the answer? Okay. So the correct answer is none of the above. Let us try solving this. I'll share my iPad screen. Sorry. So first of all, let me just write it on my iPad and then I'll share the screen. Set num 200, repeat 10, change num by 2. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, is this visible? So we are setting the variable num equal to 100 and doing this operation 10 times. So when you are doing this operation for the first time, you're changing, change operation will add this value to this. So this will make the num 98. Then you will do it second time. Num equal to, so instead of writing this plus, I'll just write -2. It will make it 96 and so on. And you will do this 10 times. So you'll get certain value over here. So what will be the final value?
80.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes. So let me go back to the options. So none of the options here was correct, which was 80. So you'll have to be very careful when you are solving such problems. Okay. Which of the following is a facility provided by Scratch to use sound effects? Yeah. So here, all three options are correct. A sound library is also provided. You can use, so let me go back to Scratch. So in this, you will find you can even record your own sound. You can upload sound. You can use the sound library, whatever sounds they have here in their library. I don't know where they have stored it. Means, yeah, you can choose from here. The search option is there. And then you can even choose any random sound from here. Let me just click on this surprise and play it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. So there are multiple sound library files in this Scratch available to you. So the surprise will just select any random file out of it. Okay, is that clear, everyone? So you can use the sound library. You can record your own sound using a microphone. You can use a sound file from your system and upload it over there. Dash scratch constructs are used to keep doing a set of instructions infinitely. Yeah. So many of you got it correct. So it is forever.
B.
In addition to an option of using the inbuilt sprite library in Scratch, what are the other ways to use a sprite?
All of the above.
Yeah, so that's correct. Let me go back to Scratch. So you can, similar to sound file, you can choose a sprite from here. You can paint something like, let's say, let me just use this brush. So this is a sprite that I have created. You can even get a surprise and then you can upload a sprite or any image that you want. Okay, let me just clear this. So we can paint a custom sprite. We can use camera to take pictures. We can upload an image from our computer and so on. Which of the following commands will make the sprite move backward?
B.
Yeah, the correct answer is B. Yeah, please, everyone, please be on mute. Okay. Yeah. Which of the following is true about Scratch? Okay, so you have to be very careful while reading the question. It asks which of the following is true about Scratch. So we cannot add sound to our animation. This is false. We cannot make a picture disappear. This is also false. We cannot make new variables. This is also false. We can run a forever loop. This is true. Sorry. So the correct option is option C. Yeah, here is again a variable question on variable and loop construct. So what will be the value of my variable at the end? Okay, many of you have got it. Is there anyone who did not get it?
No, sir.
Uh, do you have any query? Like, do you want me to explain it on iPad? Like, how you get the answer?
Yes, sure. Please do. Please do.
Okay.
It's 50 minus 10.
Yeah. So let me just write it on iPad again. Set my variable. I'll just use it my var to 0, and then you are repeating certain operation 10 times. You're changing my var by 5 and change my var by -1. So let me share my iPad screen. Okay. So you are setting first my var to 0. My var contains the value of 0. Now you are repeating this particular two operations 10 times. So what you are doing is you are changing my var by 5. So it will make it 5. Then you are changing my var is presently 5. You are changing my var by -1, which will make it 4. So at the end of the first iteration, the value of my var will be 4. Okay, and you are repeating this 10 times. So it is 4, then it will be 4 plus 5 minus 1 plus 5 minus 1 plus 5 minus 1 and so on. So the final answer will be 40. Is that clear? Yeah, whosoever had a query. So this is 4 and this is getting repeated 10 times, which is equivalent to 4 into 10, or 5 minus 1 plus 5 minus 1 plus so on 10 times. Okay, I hope this is clear. If it is not, please let me know. So the answer here is 40. Okay, now this is a little tricky. What will be the value of my variable at the end? Okay. Yeah. So some of you have got it. So let us discuss what is happening here. I won't share my iPad screen now. So set my variable to 10. So the my variable will have the value of 10. Now this particular operation is being repeated 10 times. So it is already 10. It will become 10, like 10 will get added to 10, 10 times. So it will become 110 at the end here. And you are dividing, you are setting my variable to my variable divided by 5, which is 110 divided by 5, which is 22. Is it clear, everyone? You have to note that
Sir,
here
please
my
repeat.
variable is set to 10 already. It is not set to 0. So it is already having the value of 10. Then you are repeating this operation 10 times. So it is a 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 10 times. So it will be 100 plus 10. Is that clear, everyone? Or is it not clear to anyone? Please let me know.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, great. If it is not, please feel free to ask. It is my responsibility to make sure that you get whatever concepts we are discussing here. Okay, fine. So let us go on to next question. Yeah, again a tricky part. What will the sprite say? You can answer in chat.
I'm not.
Yeah. Anyone? So you are setting t to 0. You are repeating this particular operations until t is greater than 5. You are just saying say t, change t by 1 and wait for 1 second. You can even try this in Scratch yourself, but for now you don't have Scratch with you. So what will you? Similar kind of questions might come in your exam. Anyone? Okay. Please take time and think over it. I'll go on to the answer now, but yeah. Okay. So first it will say 0. It will t is set to 0. 0 is uh, uh, it will check the condition. Okay, let me just try it out in this. So we'll go to control statement. Okay. We'll have to declare a variable called t. Then you are setting variable t to 0. Then you have a control. Repeat until. Let us see if that answer is correct or not. Then there was this condition checking. If variable t is greater than 5, so I think the condition is wrong there. Let us go here and say t and then change t by 1 and go to control and wait for 1 second. So let me just run this. Yeah, it's okay. Fine.
Run it again, sir.
Yeah, let me just run this. Okay, so what it is doing is uh, it is checking this condition. So t is greater than 5. It is not, it is false. So it will go inside, say t, change uh, t by 1. So it will become 1 here. Wait for 1 second and go back and check the condition. Now the value of t is 1. 1 is greater than 5. No. So it will just go inside. So this is a bit different condition. So the condition here being checked is so when it is false, then it is going inside. So until this becomes true, it will keep running. The moment it becomes true, it will stop. Okay. So I hope this is clear now. So earlier in the other constructs, like for if, so if certain thing is true here, it will go inside. So this particular construct will repeat these operations until the statement here becomes true. So t is set to 0. It will check this. 0 is greater than 5, false. So it will go inside and say this, change it by 1. It will become 1. And then it will check again. 1 is greater than 5, no. Then it will go inside. Then it will become 2. 2 is greater than 5, no. It will say 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. So the moment it becomes 5, yeah, the t becomes 5, this condition is false, and then it will come out of. Sorry, it will, just a second. Yeah, so it has become 5, and then it is changing it to 6, and then it is becoming 6 is greater than 5. So this is becoming true, and then once it is true, it is coming out of this. So until this gets true, it will just keep on doing these operations. Is this clear, everyone? Okay, I got response from only one person. I hope everybody got it. Okay, if there is anyone who did not get it, please let me know. I'll explain it again. Okay, so the answer is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now this is a bit complex. Let me see how many questions I have. Okay, this is the last question. So I'll leave it for now. We won't discuss this. So we'll discuss this in the next class or next session, which will be on next Friday, which is 31st of January. So yeah, this was all about this session. If you have any queries, please let me know. Is everything covered in this session clear to everyone? Or you have any other queries, please feel free to ask.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes.
This is Reena. Actually, I have a query, but not related to this session.
Uh-huh.
Last 6 months back, also I had enrolled for this course. So
Uh-huh.
after 2 or 3 weeks, we get assignment related to Python.
Uh-huh. Yes. After second
Yeah,
week onwards only you will get it.
yeah, but as per the assignment, whatever code I typed, I got the required output, but after evaluation, I'm getting that this it was marked as wrong.
Okay, so it might happen sometimes that the answers given on the Swayam portals are wrong. So you can raise that issue over there on the discussion forum, And the TAs will look into it, like the other TAs who are handling the logistics. So they will look into
Okay.
it and then they'll correct it. So yeah, it won't affect you, but everyone, if in case it happens, but it is not
Because it
always.
happened.
Mhm.
Because it happened for 2 consecutive weeks for all the Python programming.
Yeah, either there are two possibilities. Either you might have made certain mistake, with very subtle mistake. So that is one possibility. Or other thing is that option was incorrect. So if you are very sure about it, that if the given answer is incorrect, you definitely
Uh,
should raise a query over there that the answer
yeah.
is incorrect.
Like, is that option available where the question is there or in the
Yeah.
feedback form should I hear?
Yes. So if you go to
In
the
the
Swayam portal,
uh,
you will have this Q&A option over here. So this will
okay.
redirect you to a Google discussion forum wherein you can
Okay.
add your discussion there. So
Okay, sir.
it will be visible to the course faculty as well as the other students as well as the TAs who are handling the logistics.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Because I executed all the codes and they were fine.
yeah. Yeah, so thank you for your query. I think this will help others as
Uh,
well. So in case you find that certain option or answers are incorrect after the evaluation is done, so in that case you can just raise a query over here in Q&A section. You will get a verification also, like if the answer was correct or not. Okay.
okay, sir. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse,
So, yeah.
excuse me, sir.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have a small question, not regarding this as well.
Mhm.
I'm Divya. So during the first 50 minutes of session, I was unable to join because I
Oh,
got the
I see.
message that
Actually, like I just realized that the Google Meet has reduced its capacity to 100.
yes,
Uh,
sir.
so that is one issue that we need to flag it to the NPTEL team, because we have provided means all of the sessions, but whatever sessions are happening for the other courses as well. Many of the people have provided Google Meet links, so everybody is going to face the same issue. We'll have to figure it out, like what else we can use. And yeah, but please don't bother about it. This session is getting recorded, and I'll put the recording of this session on my YouTube channel. So let me just
Oh,
share the YouTube channel link again.
okay, sir. Thank you very much. That would be
Yeah.
helpful.
And even the NPTEL team will be sharing a Google Sheet with you, which will have the links to all the recorded sessions over the next 12 weeks. So you can even access the sessions from there as well. And about the files that I'll be using in my sessions, including the Python notebooks and the slides, everything will be uploaded to Drive, and I'll put the Drive link over there in the Google Sheet. So you will be able to access that over there. But let me just share the Drive link here as well. Please be on mute, everyone. Everyone, please be on mute. I'll just share this link with everyone. So the Drive link is over here. So this will be there in the uh, Google Sheet as well. So you'll be able to access all the material, whatever I'm using over here in this folder, including the slides and the Python notebooks. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
I hope the session was useful and you learned something from this session. And please, apologies for if I have made any mistakes. So please feel free to correct me in case I am making any mistake at any point. So I'm also learning with you all. So yeah, thank you for joining and have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
So how many more weeks would be?
Thank you, sir.
So this is a 12-week course, so there will be 11 more sessions. Actually, there will be one extra session as well. It all depends. So we might have 12 more sessions.
Okay, so we would get a like a scheduled roster.
So
Which
the
day?
sessions will be mostly on Fridays unless the team emails it. So please keep checking your emails. It might get postponed or preponed. I'll also inform you in towards the end of the session. So next session is going to happen on January 31st. So, but if there is any change in the schedule, I'll definitely let you know, or you will get an email about that.
And also
Excuse me.
publish the this thing topics for that course.
Yeah, so every week you will get, so here, if you go to the Swim portal, you'll get all the topics that are going to be there in every week. However, if you want to see the entire course, you can just simply search Joy of Computing using Python online. You'll get the, so if you just go over here, let me just play this. And if you go to YouTube, so this is a part of a playlist actually, uh, Joy of Computing using Python. So let me just Joy of Computing using Python. So you'll find all the recordings, the lecture recordings for the upcoming weeks as well over here on YouTube. So this is
Yeah, you'd follow the same sequence.
yeah. So we are going to follow the same sequence, week one, week two. So they release a few videos at a time so that you can focus on that particular week and then solve the assignment for that week. So they just don't want to overwhelm you with multiple videos at once, but everything is available on YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
One more thing.
Mhm.
Uh, how about this weekly assignment results? When will it be announced?
Yeah,
Or
once the due date is over, you will get the answer, your results. So the due date for this particular assignment is 5/2.
yeah,
So
it is.
as soon as it gets over, I think they'll release the solutions.
Or
Okay.
our results?
Results in the sense like they will let you know like which was the correct option and which was the incorrect. So you'll get to know that you will get 1 point for every correct option you
Yeah, one
select.
point.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting the points assigned to us.
Yes, you'll get the total points and you'll also see the correct options as well here.
Correct answer. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir,
Mhm.
yeah, I just did my assignment, so where can I access my grades to see
Oh,
my
yeah.
grades?
So the grades for this assignment will be available over here in the assignment section itself. Once this due date is over, you'll be able to see the points, the total points that you got. After you submit your answers, you'll
Yeah.
get a grade over here. Like not a grade, but a total score that you score on this particular assignment.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, after the due date, not before the due date.
All right, all right.
Okay. Okay, I hope you everyone found this session helpful and thank you for joining. Please let me know if you have
Yes,
any
sir.
queries. You can even ask it in the next session. So the next session will be on next Friday, Jan 31st. Okay, thank you. I'll end the call for everyone now.